And back here at SeaWorld San Antonio on a Thursday night. I worked last night overnight, then drove down here. It is 7 o'clock. I got 2 hours. And tonight, it's in the 60s. It is absolutely perfect weather. Of course, most people around here are bundled up like it's 20 degrees, but they're not used to the cold like I am. They lived in Oklahoma. They would call this warm. And as expected, no wait for Texas Stingray. In fact, got re-rides. They let you do 2 in a row, then you gotta walk around. This was a great 2-hour visit here to SeaWorld San Antonio, and I'll be back tomorrow. Ended up with 12 coaster rides on the 4 main ones, and I saw their nativity show, which may not be as good as one at Fiesta Texas, but it's still worth checking out. The forecast was to be sunny and warm all weekend, and it's rainy and chilly. And got my pass holder December free tray. This one really likes this spot. The little kiddie pool. He's burying his face in there for a while and just hovering over it. Yep, there he goes. The noisy guy got up on top of the rocks and now he's got them all worked up. Stop being so lazy, kids. Get out and play. At the Bubbles Soda Bar across from the Orca Stadium. I used my $10 Sea-Bucks on this bubble chata. Went ahead and went with the frozen, even though it's cold today, or it's a little cool. And that was actually really good. I was not sure what to expect from it. I didn't know if those were chocolate pieces or what that was on top of it. Those are actually liquid filled, and it's really good. Mixes with the rest of the drink. You just gotta break them in your mouth, almost like a water balloon. But they also have these other options, and I'm not sure what the flavorings are on those either. But definitely a unique thing. I was not sure what to expect from it, but that was a good thing to spend my $10 of Sea-Bucks on. That just comes with the pass this time of year. You just gotta keep track of your rewards on your account because they do different things throughout the year. And I'm just about to head over to Fiesta Texas. The mist has stopped. It is now drying out, so they are closing early for inclement weather. Yeah, I don't understand it either, but that's okay. I was about to leave anyway. Earlier when I said the rain had stopped, yeah, that was just for like 5 minutes, but rides are still running because it's light enough and no lightning. And just got out of the Majesty of Christmas show. That is my favorite Christmas show at any amusement park. I cannot recommend that enough. I know there's piped in vocals and piped in music. I don't care about that. There's still some real vocals, real singing going on during the show. And of course the story they tell, the best story ever told. And they do such a great job presenting it. I love the layout of the show. Even the ending sequence where the 3 wise men come in and it's such a grand entrance and you think that it's all about them. Majestic music is playing and they get the huge entrance and all that. But that's by design, because they come in with that grand entrance and such the royal treatment, but they are bowing down to Jesus, which shows that with the shepherds and the wise men, the weak and the powerful, and everyone in between, that Jesus is for all of us. Sometimes the quote-unquote weak feel like they are unworthy of Jesus, and the powerful sometimes feel like they are too big for Jesus. But really, Jesus is for all of us. I never really thought of it that way, but the Dollywood Nativity show kind of put that to light, and I like how the wise men get the grand entrance in this show, but then they bow down to Jesus. But time for Iron Rattler now. And I thank Jesus that a ride this great exists. I just tied my personal record with 9 rides in a row. This time on Iron Rattler. The only other ride I've done 9 in a row on without getting off is Air Force One, quite appropriately since those are my 2 favorite rides. I did not think that when I started riding at 8:45 with an hour and 15 minutes left that I would get 11 rides on Iron Rattler and 3 on Cliffhanger. I was gonna do just Iron Rattler the whole time, but it broke down after 2 rides in a row. So I got off, went over to Cliffhanger, did 3 in a row on it, did the front row, middle row, back row. So after it came back online, I came back and did 9 in a row in the last, I'd say it was probably 45 minutes, from 9:15 to 10 o'clock. I was at 3 in a row and 5 in total at, I think, 9:30. And I was thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get 5 more in the last half hour. Ended up getting 6. The last night I had limited time at SeaWorld, had an incredible time there. And I had limited time here tonight, and it was an incredible time as well. 14 coaster rides in the last hour and 15 minutes. Plus the show. I got my meal before the show. Like I said, food is usually a waste of time. Time that you could be spent doing rides. So I just went to the pizza place in the back, because I know I can usually just grab a pizza in there. No wait to get the food. Just grab it and scarf it down and keep riding. Or actually head to the show and then ride. And when you know it, the park is closed and even the mist has completely stopped. That was probably why it was so empty. That's why we were able to stay on the train of Iron Rattler. The park doesn't officially open for another 5 minutes, but they are running Chupacabra, so I might as well go get a ride. So I just got my 100th lifetime ride on Poltergeist. I believe that's my 16th coaster to reach 100 laps on. And I was able to do basically 4 in a row. This day started off with a really light crowd, but boy oh boy did everyone show up after that. But that's alright, because I mostly wanted to do shows today. They have a new entrance for Superman. I'll show that to you. Superman's entrance used to go in right to the right of this building, and now it goes in over here. And also they have a spot right at the Flash Pass merge point to put drink bottles, backpacks, and all that. Speeds up the boarding process on the train, so they're able to move people through quicker. So after the 8 o'clock Majesty Christmas show, came over here, had 25 minutes. Got 3 rides on Iron Rattler. That makes 11 for the day. I did 11 yesterday also. Of course, yesterday I only had an hour and a half, less than an hour and a half to get those 11. So that is 6 times this year that I've gotten at least 10 rides on Iron Rattler. So you can do the math. I've done a lot of laps on it this year. I'm over 90 now. And I got 1 more day. So yes, I'm definitely gonna make sure I get over 100. That'll be only the 2nd ride I've ever gotten to 100 rides in a year on. The other one was, of course, Iron Gwazi in 2022. Had the ERT time with Roller Coaster Rodeo in the middle of the year. But I've also lucked into some empty park days, or empty park times at least. So this will be my final park visit of 2024. I have no plans to go anywhere during the craziness of Christmas break. Wow, we're being let in a half hour early. And Goliath starting its test. Oh, I'm sorry, Chupacabra starting its test. I thought that everyone who is being let in was swarming Chupacabra. But no, they're actually going to this special group. They're flooding the picnic grove. But it's pretty early, so Chupacabra might open in another 10 minutes or so. So they opened the gates of Chupacabra 20 minutes early. It was 11:43 by the time we got up to the station. 11:45 sent the first train out approximately. And I got 4 rides in a row in the back row. It is just a Batman the Ride clone, but they're still good rides. And it's nice to be able to get on it before park opening. Nice to be able to get on anything before park opening. I did 5 in a row on Poltergeist without getting off the train. I did 2 in a row on Boomerang. And I've done 4 laps on Iron Rattler. I was actually on the train when we were stuck on the brake run. The loaded train had moved forward and didn't go all the way out of the station, and it got stuck there. they were able to get them going and get us into the station. Those people got to ride that were in front of us. Came over and rode Daredevil Dive. It's not rising up anymore, at least not right now. It's staying low, but you're still getting the rotations. Last ride of the night on Iron Rattler. I got 4 early rides on Iron Rattler, then it went down for 6 hours, and it came back up here at the end. I still went to the 8 o'clock Majesty of Christmas show, then came over here. I had 28 minutes to see how many rides I could get. I ended up with 7 rides in a row, being able to just stay on the train. I did have to switch seats a couple times. Actually, I only had to switch seats once, and then I switched seats to move further back a couple times. That's all 3 days that I got 11 rides on Iron Rattler. But I certainly did not expect to get up to 11, not when I was at 4 with less than a half hour to go. I love that Six Flags allows re-rides as long as nobody's in your row. They don't make you walk around after every ride. They don't make you walk around after every 2 rides the way SeaWorld does. Still, getting to do 2 in a row is better than not getting to do a second in a row. Still, you gotta love Six Flags where you're able to just ride as much as you want as long as there's room for you on the train. Now, if it's one of those situations where there's like 1 row, 2 rows empty, and then everyone's clamoring to get it, I can understand them saying no re-rides then, but I haven't seen that happen yet. I think most guests kind of understand. In fact, many times, even like me in the back row, getting a couple re-rides in the back row, I'm willing to give it up to let other people move from further up to the back so that they can get the back row experience as well, instead of me hogging it on every single ride. And you see that most guests are that way. I've had that happen before where I was in row 11 and the people in row 12 offered to switch. So with those 11 rides on Iron Rattler today, that got me up over 100 for the year. Only the second time in my life that I've reached 100 rides on one coaster in a year. The other time was Iron Gwazi with 105 rides. This year, Iron Rattler is at 103. I've had a lot of visits here to Fiesta Texas this year, enjoyed every one of them thoroughly, and I don't know when I'll be back. Not planning to do Roller Coaster Rodeo in June. I got other plans for that time of year that unfortunately is coinciding with Roller Coaster Rodeo. I'll get back here at some point next year, just maybe not as many visits as I had this year. So the 7 in a row in Iron Rattler came in the last basically 23 minutes. Gotta hand it to the maintenance crew for getting Iron Rattler back up and running. They could have given up on it today, but they didn't, and they got it back up. And I did drive my Mitsubishi Mirage. I posted that video on my channel, and this has been the norm. The 50.5 average miles per gallon. And yes, whenever you're driving about 60 miles an hour, you're gonna get good gas mileage, but getting 50, I'm going uphill right now, so it's dropped a little. But that's basically been about what I've been getting with this car throughout over 10,000 miles now.